The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, a masterpiece of historical journalism. The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich is more than a historical account, it is a monumental chronicle of one of the most harrowing periods published in 1960. This sweeping narrative offers a detailed and chilling examination of Nazi Germany, from its origins in the aftermath of World War I to its catastrophic collapse in 1945. With meticulous research, first-hand experience, and access to previously unseen documents, Scheier crafted what many consider the definitive history of Adolf Hitler's regime. Origins of a Nightmare. Scheier begins his narrative not with Hitler's birth or even the founding of the Nazi Party, but with the broader context of post-World War I Germany, a nation humiliated by defeat, burdened by reparations, and politically fractured. The Treaty of Versailles, economic turmoil, and social unrest created fertile ground for extremist ideologies. In this chaos, a failed artist and decorated war veteran named Adolf Hitler rose through the ranks of a fledgling political party that would soon become the National Socialist German Workers' Party, better known as the Nazi Party. What sets Scheier's account apart is his ability to weave together political analysis, military strategy, and personal insight. As an American journalist stationed in Berlin during the rise of the Nazis, Scheier witnessed firsthand the transformation of Germany into a totalitarian state. His dispatches for CBS News and the Chicago Tribune gave him unparalleled access to the inner workings of the regime. This insider perspective, combined with his rigorous journalistic standards, lends the book a unique immediacy and credibility. The Machinery of Tyranny. One of the most compelling aspects of the rise and fall of the Third Reich is Scheier's exploration of how Hitler consolidated power so swiftly. Drawing on captured Nazi documents including the diaries of Joseph Goebbels, Hermann Göring, and other high-ranking officials, Scheier reveals the brutal efficiency of the Nazi machine. He details the manipulation of public opinion through propaganda, the systematic elimination of political opposition, and the creation of a cult of personality around Hitler. Scheier also delves into the ideological foundations of Nazism, racism, anti-Semitism, and militarism. He shows how these ideas were not fringe beliefs but central tenets of the regime, embedded in every aspect of German life. The persecution of Jews, the destruction of democratic institutions, and the preparation for war are all chronicled with painstaking detail, often quoting directly from Nazi sources.
The road to war. Scheier's account of the lead-up to World War II is particularly gripping. He traces Hitler's aggressive foreign policy moves, the remilitarization of the Rhineland, the annexation of Austria, the dismemberment of Czechoslovakia, and highlights the failure of Western democracies to respond decisively. Through diplomatic cables, secret meetings, and internal memos, Scheier paints a picture of a dictator emboldened by appeasement and determined to reshape Europe in his image. When war finally erupts in 1939, Scheier follows the conflict from the Blitzkrieg in Poland to the fall of France, the Battle of Britain, and the eventual invasion of the Soviet Union. He captures both the military brilliance and the hubris of the Nazi war machine, showing how early victories bred overconfidence and ultimately led to catastrophic miscalculations. The turning point. The tide turns against the Reich in 1942-43, and Scheier masterfully charts the descent into disaster. The defeats at Stalingrad and El Alamein, the Allied invasion of Italy, and the relentless bombing of German cities all signal the beginning of the end. Yet, even as the Reich crumbles, Scheier notes the fanatical loyalty of many Germans and the lengths to which the Nazis went to prolong the war, including the deployment of terror weapons like the V-1 and V-2 rockets. Throughout this period, Scheier does not shy away from the horrors of the Holocaust. Drawing heavily on evidence presented at the Nuremberg trials, he exposes the full extent of the genocide, the death camps, the Einsatzgruppen, the industrialized murder of millions. These passages are among the most difficult to read, yet they are essential to understanding the moral abyss into which Nazi ideology plunged humanity. Collapse and aftermath. By 1945, the Third Reich is in ruins. Scheier describes the final days in Hitler's bunker with haunting clarity, using accounts from those who were present to reconstruct the Führer's descent into paranoia and despair. When the war ends in May 1945, Germany lies in rubble, its leaders either dead or awaiting trial, and its people facing the daunting task of rebuilding a shattered nation. In the epilogue, Scheier reflects on the lessons of the Nazi era. He warns against complacency, nationalism, and the seductive allure of authoritarianism. His message remains profoundly relevant, a reminder that the forces that gave rise to the Third Reich can never be taken lightly. Legacy of a landmark work since its publication, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich has been widely acclaimed as one of the most important works of historical journalism ever written. It won the National Book Award in 1961 and has sold millions of copies worldwide. Historians have praised its scope and accuracy, while general readers have found it both enlightening and deeply disturbing. Scheier's work stands out not only for its breadth and depth but also for its moral clarity. Unlike some later historians who sought to relativize or psychoanalyze Hitler, Scheier treats Nazism as the evil it was, a system built on lies, violence, and hatred. His reliance on primary sources, especially the captured Nazi documents and testimonies from Nuremberg, gives the book an authenticity that few other histories can match. Conclusion: a warning from history. The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich is more than a record of the past. It is a warning for the future. Scheier reminds us that tyranny does not emerge fully formed, it grows gradually, exploiting fear, resentment, and division. His book is a testament to the importance of vigilance, truth, and the enduring struggle for freedom. As the world continues to grapple with extremism, misinformation, and authoritarianism, Scheier's masterpiece remains as vital and urgent as ever. It is a sobering reminder of what happens when democracy fails and demagogues rise. For anyone seeking to understand the darkest chapter of the 20th century and how to prevent such a tragedy from recurring, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich is essential reading.